Hi, I'm Sophie.
Hi, I'm Paul, and we are
SP Film Viewers.
Here we are again, back in the cinema car park.
You're loving this, aren't you?
What, going to the cinema?
Yeah, back to normal.
Yeah. Well, today, as we were recording this, it is National Cinema Day.
Woo!
So I thought I'd take an opportunity to get some cheap cinema tickets and go see something new. I know we did a recent film that was Prey a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So we're kind of doing another recent one, but this time at the cinema. So
Yeah, and it's more beneficial, I think.
Yeah.
Not just putting it on Disney Plus.
So not got high expectations for what I'm about to watch, but it just seems like a bit of fun.
Really? Now I'm thinking this is going to be better than Prey.
Right.
I feel like you've got some solid actors and actor. You've got
Yeah.
Brad Pitt. You've got
another
Sandra Bullock.
Brad Pitt film.
Yeah. So you've got good actors and actresses. It's Japan. I feel like I can't win-win.
Okay. So the film in question is Bullet Train.
We've been on a bullet train as well, so I relate.
Yeah, they're only the ones. So I think this will be a slightly different aspect of what goes on, to be fair.
I'm hoping for a good comedy, not cringy comedy. I think Sandra Bullock's comedy, though.
I think it's more action orientated, to be honest.
I'm
There's
sure
a bit-
there's humour.
Oh, there'll be comedy, but I don't know if it won't be like silly. It might be over the top, but it might not be super silly humour.
I'm feeling like, Heat.
I know of it, but I don't know. I've never seen it, so.
It's a bit silly humour, but there's more action-packed, but they've still got the funny comedy lines.
Right. Okay.
Well, let's go.
Yeah, I'm going to drink and everything, get myself settled.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a wild ride, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, so hopefully, I mean, I'm not going to be too bummed if paying £3 for a ticket to this is going to be like, oh, why did I pay full price?
Bargain.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, not even bothered.
Yeah.
How long is it?
I reckon 2 hours max.
Right, sorted.
Yeah, something like that, so yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, I would love a bottle of water. That's the one. Thank you.
ありがとうございました。
Sarah.
失礼します。
You sure you want to talk this out?
Not particularly, no.
Okay.
And we are back. It's the following day after seeing the film. Got back kind of late last night to do the recording, so I thought we'd sleep on it and give our thoughts today. So, was Bullet Train a train wreck?
You mean metaphorically, or do you mean literally? Because literally it did get into a train wreck.
I was meaning more metaphorically, but yes, there was an incident.
All the bloody Thomas the Tank Engine talk. I mean, I've not been a big Thomas the Tank Engine. My sister despises him for some reason, proper hates him. I don't know why. She's got some beef with Thomas.
Okay. Did he run over or something? Or
God
kill
knows.
a dog or something?
Absolutely despises Thomas. All I know is he had two friends. And an older train. There's an older, wiser train. But apart from that, don't have a clue. So all these references within this. I get it, okay, you're on a train, but you don't need to plug Thomas the Tank Engine. And also, who is this benefiting? Only parents with children?
I would say so. I mean, if you've never seen Thomas the Tank Engine, then you wouldn't know what it's about. But it's still pretty popular. I mean, my brother, when he was younger, used to have the little trains set of it and the VHS tapes and stuff of things and stuff. I know. I think it's been obviously around since
Yeah, it's been around
ages and ages.
time.
But still, for whatever reason, still really popular, but people like trains.
I just don't get it. It's like I just don't feel like the kind of film that we were going for, that was going to be in it. Like, that wouldn't have ever come into my head that Thomas the Tank Engine would have popped up numerous times.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've got a problem with it. It's like, yeah, okay, you can mention it a couple of times, but the amount of times, like, they kept dropping it in, like, you're a Diesel, meaning, like, basically Diesel equals bad guy or something because they're untrustworthy or something.
I've never seen the Diesel characters, so, like, this is just, like... Yeah, I'm like, I don't know who a Diesel is. I know Thomas and a green train, and
Percy is the young friend, like you were saying, like one of the people was like you're
Percy.
Yeah, innocent kind of.
And I don't know, there's another one next to him.
But... Gordon and James were like the other trains I know. Other than that, there was a whole.
It's like putting the Teletubbies in it, though, isn't it? That's literally it. Like, oh, you're a Tinky Winky or a Dipsy. You know, I'd want to be Poe. Like, literally that.
Why?
Because he's the smallest and he's cute.
Are we? Sorry, way off topic here, but are we assuming that because is he a he or is he a she? What gender specific?
I always thought Poe was a he, but then Lala. People used... Was it Lala with the handbag?
No, that's Tinky Winky.
Oh, is that Tinky Winky? I think Tinky Winky people were a bit... It was a bit controversial at the time, wasn't it? I think he was more male-orientated with a handbag.
LGB.
Maybe.
TQ before it was even a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lala and... What's the other one?
Dipsy.
No? Dipsy, I think. The green one and the yellow one.
This is kind of offensive if you think. And like, stupid.
Yeah, but I feel like that's like literally doing that in a film.
Yeah.
Or like the Powerpuff Girls, or, you know, anything. And it's like, literally...
Yeah, it can be used now and again, but the amount of times it was dropped is just a bit crazy.
It was ridiculous. It really was. And I think it took away from the element of the film. Because I was going in thinking, we reviewed Kate.
Yeah, we reviewed that on another podcast that was called Watching Netflix Without You.
And that style of action / Japanese culture was perfect.
Yeah, that was very strong. This film, you had a little bit in Tokyo at the beginning when obviously before the sort of boarding the train kind of stuff.
And I was thinking promising.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good start.
Yeah.
And then, as far as I saw it, then the rest of the majority of the film, this could have been on any train in any country.
Apart from it going really fast.
But I mean, you've heard films where trains go fast all the time.
But I think it's just it becomes more.
But it doesn't make an element to it. That's the thing, because the bullet train, meaning like super speed, like there's some element of danger to it. But they're in the carriages, so it's not like.
Well, there is a bit at the end where
there's bits here and there involved. But if I'm gonna get to like how unrealistic that is anyway. Like hanging off a thing, and you'd be dead, wouldn't you? You can't just jump on a bullet train and be like,
no, and the speed of it, he would have not clung on for that long.
So that's what I'm saying.
Let's be honest.
But in the normal situations, like it could be any carriage in any world where that was taking place.
Well,
other than the
apart from it's cleaner and it's got an amazing toilet, like.
Yeah, there's those jokes.
Like kind of, I think. Yeah. The other aspect is it's more of a cliche Japan than it is actually authentic Japan. I feel like we went on a Hello Kitty bullet train. Mm-hmm. I don't really know what this character was.
It's called, I've looked it up before, it's called Momomon.
It's a cat. But
yeah, like an anime character type of.
And it's cutesy and everything like that, and they've obviously got things on the back of the chairs to make it more kind of
it's like having a Pikachu related one or something like that, yeah.
And obviously there was a mascot on the train and everything like that, which does scream Japan. Mm-hmm. But it just felt like what they were doing, like even with the side texts when they were naming people, that was frustrating me because it was like in Japanese, which is fine, and then it had obviously then in English, but it was like, what are you trying to be an anime with like introducing the characters? I didn't really know what it was going for.
I feel like it was kind of going that and almost like very Tarantino-esque. Like, you know, obviously we watched Kill Bill recently and that kind of thing, like where the character names comes up, like or in like, I mean, we've covered like Snatch recently. Yeah. There's that kind of element to it as well. I feel like, and I've realised that also we've covered. We obviously had Brad Pitt in Snatch, and he's in this as well. But we've had 2 other films where we've been on the train, haven't we? We've had Source Code and we've had Train to Busan as well. So different
I'm
aspects.
sick of being on a train. Like, literally now I'll be scarred every time I go on a bloody train. I'm thinking, what shit's going to go down now? I just felt like it was a bit boring. The comedy was a bit strange in this. One minute some parts were a little bit comical and I did chuckle. Other parts of the cinema were like really laughing at certain bits and I'm like, deadpanned.
I mean, I don't think I recalled you chuckling at any point. Unless it was like a...
Yeah, it wasn't like a proper laugh.
But, I mean, nobody in the cinema is going, oh, throwing their heads back laughing. It's kind of like that kind of chuckle at stuff. But I was there with you on most of the things. I was kind of like, there's nothing really funny in this. Really, it was just a bit sort of cringy.
It was over the top funny and it wasn't like they were trying too hard. My other gripe, Sandra Bullock. I mean, you've got an amazing actress there. Utilise her. Do they utilise her? No.
Only for narration of sorts.
And don't get me wrong, her voice is absolutely amazing. She's got one of those...
distinct voice.
And it's comical, and the way that she pronounces things is...
sort of semi-sarcastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, in that droll kind of way.
On the head, and it's perfect. But I would have loved to have more of her. Literally, you only get to see her at the end for like not even 5 minutes. But then we get these other characters that are shoehorned in. I just felt like there was too many people being shoehorned in, or, oh, look, we can afford Channing Tatum. Okay. What character role does that give us?
Just a comedy bit of, is this a sex thing or something?
Oh, such a cringy line. And it's like, part of me was thinking, are you doing okay, Channing? And are you like suffering with like money issues or something that literally you'll take this job? Or is it, oh, it sounds amazing?
Not the case. No, these big actors do these things these days.
And then Ryan Reynolds, he doesn't even flipping speak. God knows how much that cost him.
For a scene, basically. Yeah, to just walk along in slow motion for like not even 10 seconds.
And then I think he flashes into a car or something. I think that's another...
Yeah, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Just see him take his helmet off in this instance, this flashback. And that's it. That's all he's there for. I was thinking you could have got anybody to do
didn't
that.
matter. It really didn't have to be Ryan.
Unless he said, I'll do this favour to the director, because I did look up like what other work has this guy done, this director. He has worked on, or he has directed Deadpool 2, so I guess that kind of makes sense in that terms of like action style there. Also, I mean, I haven't seen it, but Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, like the latest, I think it's the latest one, or the one with it's one with Jason Statham and The Rock in.
Right.
So it's that over the top action thing that's like, oh, right, yeah, okay.
I actually think, though, with the role, Ryan Reynolds would have portrayed this character that Brad Pitt was doing a bit better.
Yeah, maybe, but I feel like he would just be
Ryan.
to Ryan Reynolds, being Ryan Reynolds as like, you know, his Deadpool thing and how he is in like, I mean, I haven't seen the Red Notice or anything, but he's kind of just like, that's how he is, and that's how he always portrays things. It's just too easy.
I just think because with Brad, I've seen him in other roles, and I do really value his acting style, and I feel like this was a little bit beneath him. With the character, it was just like these annoying puns and trying to be zen and all of this, and it was a bit like this character isn't really not falling in love with him. He's like he's had a bad trauma. He's been off.
Yeah, that was another joke they were going through. Oh, I've had bad luck and everything.
Yeah,
almost like he's, you know, a black cat.
You create your own luck. Like everyone knows that. Yeah. Yes, okay, fate is a thing, and you can leave it to fate. So, like, we were thinking about getting another cat, and then, what are you laughing at? We offered it to the world and the universe, and basically, because we had other animals, it was not feasible, really. Yeah. And that's fine, so it was a no. And that's fate. That's not bad luck, it's just the situation at hand. And actually, probably in hindsight, it's better for us. So, I think some lines I appreciated what Brad was saying. Like, yeah, I get it. Like, oh, this is, you know, you're not hurting me, I'm not hurting you, or whatever. But it just felt like it was too much him trying to psychologically mentally make himself stable for the job. I don't think he was fit to work, really. He shouldn't have been there. And then him trying to calm himself down in situations. I think it was meant to be funny, but it wasn't. Like when he'd stabbed somebody and then he's like in a fetal position or something, like, and it's like, oh, we've got to get up now. And then he wouldn't take the gun. And it was just like, why are you even doing this? Just be off sick or something, because clearly you're not fit to work. And I just don't think, for Brad Pitt, I think he's done so many other better roles that this one was just a bit.
Okay. Do you think, who else would you think would be a better fit then?
Obviously, Ryan, because it's that goofy kind of character, which...
Right. Okay.
That would work for him as a character. I'd kind of take Brad Pitt a bit more seriously. That sounds awful, doesn't it? To Ryan, but I think Ryan just portrays the funny aspect a bit better.
He lends himself more to that, because it's more his style.
Like, if he was in a serious action, it'd be a bit weird to see Ryan like that, because he's never been like that.
I don't think I can think of a role where he has been sort of serious. Yeah.
The only one I give credit to is The Proposal. I feel like...
But even that's a bit goofy in a sense.
He is, but he's more sincere, and I think that's one of the best films he's been in.
I didn't mind Brad Pitt as such, but like I say, some of the dialogue was a bit like...
I think just for Brad Pitt to say him, it just seemed a bit weird. Yeah. If that's what I mean. Mm-hmm. It was like, this is beneath him. But he did really well with his role that he had given. Mm-hmm. But it was just like, I'm sure you could do so much better.
No, I agree with that.
And Sandra Bullock could have been more, I don't know, I'd like to have seen him kind of fighting it out together as a team.
I didn't mind the dynamic with the Sandra Bullock being the voice in his ear, really. Kind of just added that, and
just
you've got it for the voice, but yeah.
Yeah, just wasted talent, that's all I see throughout this film.
Only in a sense, not as such, because it's having the conversation is still there.
Yeah. But she's such a great actress. Like, okay, yeah, you've got a voice,
just
but...
costs less for her to be there in person on set. It's probably a lot cheaper for just to do a voiceover.
Well, don't shoehorn two other massive people in. No. And then you could have paid for her full time. We'll
go to some of the other characters. Obviously, Tangerine and Lemon, the comedy duo. I guess the Cockney-based.
I like Lemon. He's nice. He's the one out of all of this that I kind of root for in the end. I feel for him.
Even though he was going on about the Thomas.
He was the one that went on about the Thomas. But he did read people, and he did seem to be one of the more genuine characters.
I'm guessing when they were saying about, the brothers, I presume it's meaning just like adoptive brothers.
Or a brother from another mother.
Friend kind of thing, and just really that close, yeah. But their dynamic kind of works, bounce off each other pretty well. Everything.
Tangerine gets on my nerves.
Is it the really Cockney?
Oh yes, and he's proper British and proper posh, and he's wearing a suit.
But not, yeah.
And it's like, come on, if you're wearing a suit for this kind of work, it's not really feasible. I did seem to flit quite back and forth as well from getting to know people. So one minute you're on the train, and then it's like, oh, flashback to this person's story. And I think it was trying to be like a bit of Kill Bill, but it wasn't that level. And maybe I'd have appreciated it if I hadn't seen Kate and Kill Bill prior to this.
Maybe, yeah. So I guess it's sort of like John Wick style as well.
I prefer John Wick.
And I think he co-directed David Leitch, I think, is the co-director of John Wick. He so he was involved in that as well. So I guess there's some of that going on with the action style and stuff. But
the action was brilliant. Like, I can't actually fault the action itself. It was more the dialogue that was the issue. And that little whiny girl.
Yeah. What's she called? Prince. Joey King was the actress, but yeah, no.
What have I seen her in?
I'm not entirely sure.
For some reason, she reminds me of the girl that was on that. You probably never watched it. Angus Thongs.
I've no idea.
What's her name?
Joey King.
Not Prince.
I thought you were going to say she's like one from Gilmore Girls or something.
Oh no. Apparently she was in Crazy Stupid Love. And she was like a daughter on that. We watched that Going in Style as well. She was on that. Looks like all shit films, to be fair.
Right.
I'm completely honest. Like, I don't know if you know any of those, but
Let me see. On the... Yeah.
It's a load of crap.
I know. She's just... When I see her, it's kind of like, oh yeah, like Slender Man, and I think it was Bye Bye Man or something was the kissing booth. That's like one of the shitty Netflix shows, and it's just like, ugh, yeah.
She's really irritating. Like, I know she's meant to be portraying that, so great.
But the thing is, though, I don't know why she was putting on a British accent, really, because she's American. I'm not saying that just because you're American you can't put on a British accent, but I didn't see the point, because she turned out she was
Russian?
or something anyway, yeah. A different ethnicity, so it's like, what was the point?
To be fair, I feel like she should be more Japanese, because she was brought up in Japan.
Yeah.
So I'd expect more of a Japanese kind of impact on her, not a British or Russian, one or the other. But she just seemed really prim and proper and false and fake, and
Well, that was the whole character, really, wasn't it? So, please don't shoot me, and then, like, oh yeah, I've seen that before, like, other double cross thing of, like, trying to look sweet and innocent, but actually when stab you in the back when they get the chance.
but won't
like,
melt. She was just so annoying. Really annoying. Clever in certain aspects of, like, the bombs and how she kind of could make the gun kind of be a bomb and stuff. So she was clever in that sense, but just,
but it did kind of annoy me that she was kind of. I mean, there's a lot of instances where characters were getting killed off and stuff, and it's like, how are you like one of the last people standing almost?
Yeah.
Although she doesn't at the end.
Yeah, no, she doesn't. She gets
after all, I thought to myself, like, when it came to the bomb, there was a point where obviously the train has a big collision with another train.
We were hoping she were dead then.
Like, okay, right, I'm not seeing her where, like, but no, she, like, pops up. It's like, oh, come on. Like, that's ridiculous. Like,
with not even a single scratch on her, really. Like, oh, no, she was actually a bit bloody and messy at that point.
Yeah, but not like, my leg's broken or anything like that. Or anything severe. Like, oh, I'm okay. Like, yeah, no. It's like, oh, God, no. But, I mean, it gives the film credit in that sense, because it's some instances where people are killed off and think, oh, God, like, didn't expect you to be
dead
off that quickly, or like that. The person who was like the inside killer on numerous people, she called the Hornet,
the one that was in the outfit,
Omomon suit. Yeah, and it's like,
she was not long lived, was she? Really? Let's be honest.
No, she wasn't. She was in. Do you remember seeing Deadpool 2? She was in that.
Was she?
Yeah.
Was she the goodie or the baddie?
She was helping out Deadpool.
I always remember Deadpool 1 better than Deadpool 2, to be fair.
I think we've only seen it the once.
Oh, well, there we go then. It's gone in my brain and gone out.
But I don't know, like, every sentence she had to end with bitch for some reason. It's like, oh, come on, like, is that supposed to be funny? Right, what character trait that is. And then, let's say, like, 5 minutes on screen doing a fight with Brad, and then she gets infected with this venom of what was the snake called? Boone snake or something? That kept like, slithering around in the trains, like snake on a train.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, good use of CGI, I'd say, ironically, once again. And then, yeah, that's one of those moments where she's, like, bleeding from the eyes because of the snake venom, and Brad's like, oh, are you okay?
Yeah.
Do you need a blanket or something? Like,
some water?
Like, come on.
It's clearly you don't care, like, you're really not bothered.
Because, so,
why are you acting like you give a shit?
Yeah.
It just, I'm glad we only paid £3.
I think it's worth that much, no.
Well, you were going to go see this on your birthday. This was going to be one that we were going to go see.
I know, yeah.
Just because we're a sucker for Japanese thing.
Yeah, which didn't have a great deal of it. Like I say, it was kind of just, it's almost like a backdrop, really, front, really. And like I say, it could have taken in any place. There was, I'd feel like there was a couple of, obviously, actual Japanese people in it, but I think I would have preferred it if it was more akin to that, like there was actually more actual Japanese actor talent used throughout there. There was one character, the elder. I was going through the whole film going like, what have I seen you in? It's really like bugging me. Like it's something that sort of seemed, I feel like it's something recently, but maybe not like as in like I've sat and watched like an older film recently.
Have I seen it with you?
No.
I'm gonna say I can't help. Normally, never can.
It's the Ring series, or the Japanese Ringu. So
you covered that, didn't you? Did you cover that? Did you do that one film, Floggers?
Yeah, I did, yes.
Ah, see, I do know some things.
Yeah.
There you go. Don't mean I need to watch it, like. Don't even think I listened to your episode just because I didn't want to get scared. Such a supporting future wife.
Yeah. So no, so those parts were good. Obviously, like it was interesting with the dynamic with at the beginning of the story with his grandson has been hospitalized, and I think I wanted to make more of that. Really, there was a slight threat with that annoying girl Prince. Like, what leverage do you have, really? Who are you, kind of thing, like...
Yeah, and why are you, like... I thought she was, like, one of those faces that she was a cover for somebody else, like somebody else was above her, and she was working for them, but I think she was being spiteful towards her dad, which was the what was it?
Oh, the White Death.
Which, you did get some samurai scenes within that when he kind of was taking on...
Yeah, but they were just more flashbacks.
And obviously... White Death and the Elder did have
feud, yeah,
and the sword fight on the samurai sword fight on the train.
Not quite as epic as like in a Zen Garden or anything
like Kill Bill,
yeah, or anything like yeah.
It was a bit disappointing.
Did learn something
about Thomas the Tank Engine.
No,
because that's all I learned.
I learned that which I kind of didn't actually twig on before, actually. Thinking about it, that ladybug, the Japanese word for it, I believe is Tentomoshi. Tento sticks out because of Tentomon from Digimon series, and he's like a insect thing that kind of looks like a ladybug. So he's like,
why are Digimon characters ugly? What the hell?
What as opposed to Pokemon characters?
Yeah. I was expecting this cute little ladybird, and look at him. Like, if that were a ladybird and it came in my house, that won't be living long. Like, I rescue normal ladybirds because they're bloody cute. But why has he got weird bug eyes?
I think this will be a clip, I think, to show this.
Why are you
people
laughing
like,
at me?
what is Tentomon?
It's ugly as hell. Like, I'm
it's
sure.
Not that ugly.
Come on, but compared to the little ladybird.
Ladybird from Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's different, isn't it? It's different styles. Yeah.
I'm such a Pokemon girl. Digimon. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, so that's all it was. I just knew, like, oh, right, okay, that's... But I get the...
But it's lucky, isn't it?
Apparently lucky in Japan, yeah.
Not mean this in another way, but a lot of things are lucky in Japan, I think. Like, even foxes are lucky.
Because they've got the 7 spots or something, like what was said. Like for the stars or something like that.
I think so.
Something along the signs.
But it just sounds patronising, the way that Sandra Bullock calls him a ladybird, like he's feeble. And he's fragile and he can't do anything like a ladybird. But yeah, I do think the Pokemon versions are a hell of a lot cuter.
Did you notice some of the music tracks that were in Japanese?
Yes, but there were like the Bee Gees.
Yeah.
There was another.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Did you know what the other one was?
Yeah, but I can't remember it.
I Need a Hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was good. I quite liked that element. I did, but it felt like it was...
That one didn't work as well. I think
the Bee Gees
the first one, especially as the opening bit, whereas I know you haven't seen Saturday Night Fever yet, but there's John Travolta walking down the street and it's like a low angle of his feet and he was doing the same kind of thing almost.
I know, kind of like the iconic kindness of that, yeah. But I think as well, it was quite interesting for me while I was watching it. I was listening, trying to see what the words were like in Japanese, like versus the English bit.
Yeah.
And then okay came along and it said okay, so I'm guessing that okay must be something that they don't have the equivalent wording for.
Sometimes they do, yeah.
Or that is their kind of word for it, if that makes sense.
No, I get what you mean, yeah.
So yeah, quite liked that element, I guess. The other part was a bit of a yes when Princess or whatever her name was died. Like that was like she got run over by a truck which had tangerines on. But
it was Lemon driving. That was like a post-credit sequence. It was literally like 2 minutes after the fact they started rolling, and it's like, okay, right, could you not just have put that in before that, but it's fine, whatever.
But I like the fact, like the irony of lemon in a tangerine, and she dying. Really,
That, yeah.
Yeah. I think that was like one of the good scenes. The one other scene that I thought was very peculiar was when Brad Pitt was floating through the air.
Yeah, that was very that's very CGI kind of almost in the space that it was in. It was like clearly just there. It was like, and some bonked him on the head slightly, and everyone's like,
yeah,
it's really.
And it just looked really shitty.
It did.
It didn't look
It really
realistic.
did. No.
And
I mean, the trains crashing themselves didn't look realistic at all.
no.
It's like very like a kid like playing with toys kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just
even the
over the top.
action wasn't like that great. It was all right. It was just.
When I said what you said earlier, you said you did like the action.
It went on for. It didn't go on for that long, I guess.
Yeah.
But it wasn't spectacularly like, oh, this is the best action film I've ever seen.
This is like one of those you leave your brain at the door type of films. It really was. I like I said, I didn't go in with high expectations.
I did.
And I was. No, I can't say I was disappointed in that regard. I mean, overall, it wasn't like oh god, get me out of here type of thing. The film did actually go. I never said how long does the film. The film's 2 hours and 6 minutes.
It dragged.
Sort of at the back end, it did a little bit.
It was like, come on, let's wrap this up now.
Yeah. For some reason, it was. I think it was when Lemon was kind of revived from his. I think he was dead and everything.
Yeah.
It was a bit like, okay, right, we're getting to the station now. We're going to get in, and then there's just a little bit extra there, and it's like, come on, right, yeah, we don't really need this bit.
And then when the elder came on the train and acting and, can you not look at us and all of this and move away?
Yeah.
And it's just like some of the dialogue, it was just like, let's cut it out. And
it's trying to be clever like a Tarantino film, but it just doesn't land in the same way that he would do it. Unfortunately, so I get there's some inspiration there probably, but it just doesn't cut it at all.
Sadly not.
No.
Is there any other scenes or anything else that...
I'm just trying to think of like anything else we may not have discussed already. I'm just going through in my head. Oh, there was that Spanish guy that was called the Wolf or something. He was another character that kind of just like had a very brief moment and then kind of just faded into everything. But
how horrible was that though? Like for his wedding, bless him. I hope that don't happen to us. It did remind me of a bit of what was it, Game of Thrones-ish?
Red Wedding or something. No.
Or like when was it Joffrey?
Yeah, he got poisoned. Yeah,
kind of. Yeah, that kind of vibes where bless him.
Yeah, hopefully there's no.
Hope not.
In the frosting or anything. Yeah.
I mean, in your drinks, you'd get poisoned before I would. To be fair,
yeah,
you'll support.
I was speaking of drinks. That was such a stupid, quirky moment when we were on about earlier about character cards. The fucking water bottle got a character card. Like he's been through the ringer.
Yeah,
he's been on the whole journey through like different people's hands and supped and rolled around.
It's like, no, this isn't a thing that you should be putting in. Like, okay, yeah, Japanese people.
Is it Fiji water?
Fuji water, yeah. Okay, they have vending machines, and yes, their vending machines are amazing, but you could have got something else but then water from that. It could have been everlasting warm milk tea.
Well, I was looking at the drinks bar in the back, and it's like, oh, look at all the nice, like, probably like whiskies and sake stuff they have in the back of like, oh,
and they're getting smashed.
Yeah. Oh. But I can totally believe that Brad Pitt would pay that sparkling what was like $10.
Oh yeah.
Well,
he didn't pay it, did he? Made the other guy pay it.
Yeah. Though being a bit where like
bit cringy.
Yeah, like gotta wait till the thing. And I get that kind of dragged a little bit, even for that bit. It's not like hello. Or the other bit when they're in the quiet section, that woman's going like shh, and like why did she not like get up and think? Because they're still like. Because you not see that they've got a gun?
Yeah.
Or anybody else, like, is nobody else paying attention?
Also, why did they go on that cart then if they're going to make a racket? It's like going into the library and...
Because it's hilarious.
No, it's
the
not.
The fact that it's in a quiet zone and they're having a beat punch up, yeah.
None of it was funny.
No, really.
The best bit about it was I got a hot chocolate in the cinema. It was like the highlight.
I had a nice was it Beavertown?
IPA.
Yeah, neck oil IPA beer. That was really nice, actually. That was like the best.
Literally, we came out and he was like, "Thank you for my beer," and I was like,
Yeah, I got the tickets. You got the drinks.
Yeah, and she was like, "I didn't thank you, Paul, for my ticket."
Yeah.
Thank you, though. I guess I should thank you.
Yeah. Well, we've got an entertaining review out of it, I suppose.
I guess, yeah.
It'd be more like, well, at least we got to talk about
it,
as opposed
instead
to
of just going.
Like, why did, yeah.
And as well, it was cinema day, so literally, if I'd known that and we hadn't got other plans, we could have just gone back and forth, like £3 a ticket.
Yeah, I know.
You could have watched 3 of those for like the price of one film normally.
Exactly. Yeah. Although I feel like looking at the schedule, there wasn't as many films as I'd have hoped to have gone. Like if it was earlier in summer or something,
there were more out,
like a lot more out. I'd be like, or something, or even like in October or something when obviously like horror films.
There was a scary film actually that was trailered.
Oh, it was called Smile or something.
Oh god, that gave me heebie-jeebies.
You're wincing like. Ugh.
Yeah, no. I was intrigued by it, don't get me wrong, but I think I would absolutely have nightmares.
Yeah, you would. Especially as you're a smiley person as well.
Yeah. Don't.
Well, no, because I'd have to be the one worrying, because if you were doing the... whatever it was, yeah.
It's awful. But I did think that would be something you'd probably watch by yourself.
Yeah. But the cinema experience, I guess it was quite a packed
It
screening. But obviously I think this for the day we went as well. So it kind of it was interesting to see like how other people reacted to it. But obviously other people seemed to enjoy it for what it was. But
yeah,
it's sort of a recommendation, I suppose, if you do like that kind of action silly humour thing. Not too silly like I can't stand this.
Not like an Adam Sandler, but it's still just a bit lackluster.
Yeah.
But it's one to put on and then not be like, oh, I'll go watch that again.
Yeah, I have no desire to really check it out again.
You've seen it. It's fine. Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
What? It's not like a classic.
I don't know, maybe years to come it'll be
Give over
as one of those cult classic things. But
no.
I think I just wanted more. I guess we both wanted more Japanese elements to it to be highlighted, but I think it's more for an American audience, really. No, average Joe. Yeah, maybe.
Silly Americans.
Right. I don't think there's much more to say, so...
You get to go first because you paid for the tickets and you decided to watch it.
I don't think I'm going to be too harsh,
okay,
despite all what we've said. I can't say it was like, oh, this is like the most terrible thing I've ever seen or anything like that. But it's not good enough to be like something that I'd want to come back to, like I say, or think too much about, because it's not one of those kind of films, really, to be fair. So I'm just going to say it's a 6.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I would say.
Okay.
So I didn't think I could mark it down to a 5, just because
I was thinking that, but I thought, no, that's way too harsh. Because
there's worse films out there.
Way worse. Yeah.
But it just doesn't leave me really any feelings towards it. I don't really love or hate it. I guess I just kind of, it's a film that exists. It's there. I won't buy it again.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I wouldn't be getting it on disc or anything like that. That's for sure.
It's just, it's all right. I feel like they've got some wasted talent that they could have utilised a lot better.
Yeah.
I think Brad Pitt, it's one of the scraping the barrel kind of films for him.
Yeah. I wouldn't go that far.
He's done so many better roles.
I mean, like I say, in Snatch he was really good. In Glorious Bastards, when we get around to that, you'll see he's pretty good in that. Yeah, he could have been utilised better.
Yeah.
But this kind of makes me think, like, if we go back to, like, we saw Deadpool not too long ago, rewatched that, but Deadpool 2, if he did that, same director did that film, like, we look back on that, like, would we like, ugh, to that, or because we know it's Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool and he's Saki and that everything, then it works for that, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
This director also produced Nobody, you know, that action film where it's the guy who was like his house got burgled and it seemed like he did nothing, but he was actually like a
Yeah.
hard assassin type of.
Yeah. That with his
Hitman,
family?
yeah.
Was that with his family?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I thought you were on about Pig initially. Then. When
Oh
you
no,
said
no,
it.
not Pig. No, I would have said it was a pig. Not.
I was thinking
Yeah.
it's going roundabout with this, but yeah.
So that was okay. But I mean, that wasn't directed by him. That was produced by him. So he kind of must have had some sprinkles of how to do things on that, maybe. But that was more enjoyable. I'd watch that again because that's more of a satisfying. Like, yes, you're coming round to getting the bad guys and stuff. This was like you didn't
really root for either side, did you? Because they were both.
Yeah, there was.
Ones were like paid for the jobs and the kind of the elder, I guess, but then you realised he was linked in prior and it was just like, let's all of you just die then. Just make sure no innocent people on the train don't do, you know.
Yep.
There we have it.
Yeah.
Next time we'll pick a better film for Cinema Day.
Well, next time we'll pick out I think it's something you would hopefully enjoy. Got something in mind.
Oh.
Yeah.
Intrigued. Well, at least you're kind of doing that, aren't you? Where you seem to have the rubbish ones when it's the films that you haven't seen lately, and then we go to a film that you have seen, and then it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems the case. But hopefully we can break that spell soon. But...
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So thank you very much for listening. And if you would like to go and check out some of our other episodes, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, and wherever else you get your podcasts from.
You can also follow us, if you haven't already, on TikTok. I'm turning 30 this year, so you can tell I don't know what TikTok is. So you can join us.
I'm going to keep this in.
No, you are. So you can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. And I only use Instagram, so yeah, that's why. And if you want to find us, and Paul does all the hard work, you can search for us under the handle SP_filmviewers. Gosh, I hashed that, didn't I?
and if you wouldn't be so kind as to leave us a 5-star review.
After that.
Yeah. Top quality stuff here. You can do so over on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, and wherever else they do the scoring system.
If you wouldn't be so kind to do so, that would be appreciated. Also, we have a Buy Me a Coffee page now. I know times are hard and things are not easy with the outlook of what October is, but any small donation is always appreciated, or even a comment or something just saying that you're grateful for what we do and you're enjoying what we do is really valued.
Yeah. Or sharing around just to get as to many people as possible is always welcome as well.
We're wanting to try and brighten someone's day up and make somebody laugh along the way.
I'm still contemplating on the whole patron thing as well. That's something I'm kind of thinking about a bit more. And
shall I sign up to be one and then I'll give you £1
it's not
a month or whatever it is, and then I can get a pen that says SP Film Viewers? Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Oh. Do I just get a free pen? I don't even get a pen. Is that what you're saying to me? Devastated. But yeah, definitely something I think we're going to be looking into after the wedding.
Yeah.
So keep tuned for that.
Yeah. I'll notify people as to when that goes live and everything, and you can help us out. But in the meantime, thank you very much for listening, and we will speak to you next time.
Speak to you next time.
Bye.
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 Bye.